time is that?
Let's see what the great Patrick Mahomes will do on this play.
But before we can talk about how great Patrick Mahomes is, we have a flag on the play.
Before the ball was snapped, pass interference on the defense, numbers 1, 2, and 3. By rule, the great and powerful Patrick Mahomes will elect where to place the ball. Hail Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, it's now 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. Ball is snapped.
Man, look at the way Patrick Mahomes handed off that ball. Superb technique.
But let's check out the flag on the play.
During the play, personal foul, violating Patrick Mahomes' personal bubble. The result of the play is first down, touchdown, and Chiefs win by 50 points. Hail Patrick Mahomes.
Scatterboot, little 3 to 5 yard runs, needs to be efficient, set that offense going. I don't think they've won a conference championship outright ever. I'm pulling for Arizona State today.
Burrow, Chase, and Higgins are out. Bart, Lisa, and Ralph are in. Bart Simpson takes the snap, throws to Ralph. Touchdown! He's not in danger. He's in the end zone.
Good touchdown, man.
First one.
That's your first one?
First one.
Where's the ball?
Somebody grabbed it.
All right,
I'm going to kick it in the stands.
You're such a stud. I thought that would be like, your 5th one.
There you go, Skip. Keep throwing up. Whatever you're doing over there.
Good job, my boy.
Yeah.
Great to see you, my guy. Keep doing your dog.
Thank you for what you meant to me.
Always. Same, dog. Much love.
What I thought of today. Okay.
You not wearing red between these lines?
Uh-oh.
You getting smoked.
You got to get hit. Ooh, that's good. I like that. That's good.
I know who's
That's
there.
good. That's a good spin. This is for the division, for the Chiefs. And right off the upright and in for the division. It's the Dyke for the division. 9 consecutive AFC West championships.
Those T-shirts look good. Hey, right. Next time a little right. Here, you can join in with. How about those?
Cheese.
Don't get too excited.
I'm Ralph.
Verstaat, Angriff.
Oh.
5 Yards Strafe.
Captain.
Oh my gosh, I can't even every time I see it, I was like, oh, I gotta talk about that. But then the next one comes on, it's like it's even funnier to take.
Yeah.
Last week, I forgot to bring this up, but was there one with Herbert was like, jump offside. It's like, what did someone put that over like a voiceover? Because he couldn't have been saying that for real.
No, he was, and he stole that from Jameis Winston the week before.
He was actually saying that.
Jameis the week before did that to Pittsburgh. He was like, somebody jump offside. Damn.
That's so funny.
I've been finding these mic'd up video, moments from each week now, so I can find cool things like let's face it, you got to hate on the Chiefs, right? Again with and we'll get into that. But then you see Andy Reid, and you're like,
I know, they're actually like good guys.
Andy Reid puts it all back in perspective.
They're good guys, but it's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to. You know what? You know why it's hard for me? It's not the Chiefs. It's not mostly the Chiefs themselves. It's like when I hear certain people who are on the side of the Chiefs, just breeze, like it's all supposed to happen this way. No, it isn't.
Yeah, it's the verbal rim job that these people, the media gives them. That's what makes it horrible. Well, I got my coffee, my fresh coffee. I made it during the open.
Okay.
Me, I'm ready to go. But this week, it's just the two of us because our buddy Bruce is not only on vacation, but there's been a little issue. So we wish Bruce all the best.
Yeah.
And Uncle Gene, get well soon, sir.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about you, brother. Hopefully, maybe he's watching. That said, how'd you do on your picks last week?
Oh, I took a step back. 4-1. That's usually what I would expect, some kind of reaction from Bruce at this point when I say stuff like that.
4-1 puts you at a whopping 51-19. You haven't even hit 20 losses yet. And there's 4 weeks to go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks. Which, by the way, we were going to do our power rankings this week.
Yeah, I know.
Without Bruce, we'll push it another week. So
I know.
I believe Bruce went 4-1 as well. You and I
so.
went through what we believe were his picks last week. We're giving him the 4-1. He can correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
But that was Bruce at 46 and 24, still 5 behind you. I went 3-2 as usual. 44.
I know, but you had to take a couple of chances, and unfortunately, I know the two.
I'm going to start taking even more chances because there's no way to catch up. So you could put a fork in me. I'm not making the playoffs.
I mean, the Kansas City one was like that could have gone either way.
Oh my God!
But I don't know. What we'll talk about this
more to the left.
Yeah,
and 4-1.
That's it. And the other one, I don't know what the heck happened to the Bears.
Well, I can tell you what happened to the Bears. Well, why don't we start here with a little thing I like to call Thursday Night Football.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually maybe it's a good thing Bruce isn't here for this one.
Oh,
he's a Packers fan.
He was here when we talked about it.
We talked about it last week, briefly,
but
try to leave it for this week. This was a really entertaining game, and I've got some highlights. Well, why don't we roll the highlights and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I almost. It was a while ago, so I've almost forgotten some of it. But wow,
yeah,
that was really entertaining.
The heavy metal music to go with that. It was a track meet back and forth. Back and forth is probably one of the better games of the year, and two of the best teams in the league. So, you would expect nothing less. Dan Campbell, though, we've talked about it again and again with this fourth down, rolling the gambles on fourth down 4 times, once in his own end. And wants to win the game. So, but will this bite him in the playoffs like it did last year?
I know. It's like, I wonder if he's going to remember, or he's just going to kind of forget what happened and just continue. I think he's just going to continue to do what he does. So win or lose.
I agree. I think
he can get off that track.
He's got that mentality. He's just going for it. He's he thinks his guys lined up. His guys are better than the other guys, and that's his mentality. Nothing's going to stop him. He's not going to change, and that's a kind of a good thing. Growing up a Steelers fan, what frustrated me a lot in the '90s with Bill Cowher, and I love Bill Cowher, but he came from the Marty Schottenheimer tree, and what would happen is he'd be aggressive like that all year, and then they get to the playoffs and he'd become super conservative.
Oh, okay.
They lost to San Diego in the championship game in '94. They should have blown that team out. And it's because they were really conservative and gave up a big touchdown late in the game and then lost. And then the next year they almost lost again in the championship game to the Colts. It came down to the last play. Jim Harbaugh threw a Hail Mary in the end zone that was almost caught.
Oh,
and again, because Cowher played that game so close to the vest. So that drove me nuts about him a lot. I don't think Campbell's going to do that.
No, I don't. I definitely don't think so.
But that loss kind of hurts Green Bay. I don't think they're going to catch Detroit now for the
they lost both games against them, and they're like 3 games. Yeah, they can't.
Yeah. They might be able to hurdle Minnesota. There's 4 weeks left. We'll see what happens there. And I think they have one more, right? Head-to-head, Green Bay, Minnesota.
Yeah, there is might be coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have another game against Minnesota. No, it's not this week because, never mind. We'll talk about next week.
Yes. We do have a third guest here today. I'm sorry, I forgot. Jets bag is back, baby. As long as they lose, Jets bag will be back. So
this was definitely the game the Jets could have just, I don't know. The Dolphins did not deserve to win this game. I'm sorry. I can't.
it was close, but the Jets, again, they gave up a late drive at the end of regulation and then couldn't stop the Dolphins in overtime at all.
Well, I think this was lost in the Jets in the Jets' final drive to go up 26-23 because it's like they're in field goal range. Then they have a fresh set of downs. They're trying to get the clock down. First down, loss of 5 on a run play. Okay, I know that happens. But then on the second down, what's the one thing? I mean, Rodgers is a quarterback in this league for 20 years. What's the one thing a quarterback can't do when you're in field goal range?
Take a sack.
Yep.
I'm wearing a sack. You
Took a
can't
sack.
do this.
I couldn't believe he took that. And then on third down, miraculously, he gets a lot of that back. And again, what's the one thing as a receiver you can't do when you're trying to run the clock out?
Get tackled in bounds.
It goes out of bounds and stops the clock. You can't make this up. It gives the Dolphins an extra, 45 seconds to get back and get that field goal to tie and go into overtime. I was convinced that was,
And this is why the Jets have 3 wins. Their fundamentals are just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
the Dolphins had a hard time getting started, and then they finally heated up, and
it was shocking because you figure a game in Miami, they're gonna.
I know that's what worried me the most. That's why I don't buy into Miami's going to make this run and get into. To me, it's like, who cares? Even if they scrape into the playoffs, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, I know that feeling. The Jets are officially eliminated now, so that's extra reason to put on the Jets bag.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's anything else I need to say about this game, and it's hot in this bag. Can we move on?
Yes, we can move on.
All right. Woo, man. So, it's ironic that they have this game listed right underneath the Jets game.
Oh, yeah.
Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers have both suffered from the same thing.
Yep.
Which is that Achilles tear. And I don't think either of them, especially at their ages, are healing particularly well. And it's weird because Rodgers looks like he's actually moving better as the season goes on.
He is.
Cousins looks worse as the season goes on. He's now not thrown a touchdown in 4 weeks.
Yep.
He's thrown 11 interceptions in that time. 4 in this game against Minnesota.
That's a great parallel because conversely, Darnold in the last 4 games has thrown 11 TDs and zero interceptions.
Yeah, I got a lot on this game. I want to start with this.
Oh, okay.
The Minnesota faithful will never forget you, Kurt.
Okay.
See that?
Yes, I see.
And somebody had a shirt that said the same thing. Kurt Cousins. It's not Kurt. It's
Kirk.
As in Captain.
Yes.
Kirk.
What
James.
the heck?
Yeah.
Do they really think that that's what his name is?
I know. This game was crazy in the fact that, let me go to the Vikings stats here. You had Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson just go off.
Yep.
Almost the same yards. So that's what, let me do my math here. 265 yards receiving on 15 catches for 5 tutties, the 2 of them.
Yep.
And I've got some video of some of that.
Well, I've never been that open for a minute. Never.
For Atlanta, the DBs just quit covering. Justin all by himself.
That's gone. I was gone. I'll take him, boy.
And when you look at it, it's not really a great play. I didn't see what if Darnold was under duress. It's not really a great play by him because he had to wait for the ball. It's like he's sitting there constantly saying, "I'm open."
Darnold steps up in the pocket, buys a little time, steps up in the pocket, and the Atlanta corner cut out.
Yep.
Like he cut out toward the sideline looking for the ball and realized it was on the other shoulder. fun to go back and slipped and fell on his face.
He could have made that up and gotten the interception for how long the ball took there, but no.
Brandon Perna goes, for the first time in NFL history, someone had to take a breathalyzer test on the field. He looked like he was drunk covering that. My God. That kind of stuff was going on all day. I mean, Jefferson was open like that a second time.
That's
Addison was open a lot. I mean, the Atlanta secondary is a disaster. It really is bad. Just about everything that could go right for Minnesota went right, except for this one play right here. Flicker to lose 5 yards.
All that ball moving around
to lose 5 yards in the red zone. That was the only thing I think went wrong for them all day.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I like that design. Your flea flicker just to throw it to the sidelines. I don't know.
That's really stupid. The point of a flea flicker is to pull it.
Yeah, way deep.
Maybe pull the safeties in because they think you're going to run the ball or something, on a jet sweep or yeah. And somebody should be open downfield is the point.
Yeah,
it's the wrong part of the field to do that. You're in the red zone. The field compresses. There's not a lot of space.
What are you gonna do?
It's a weird play call. But Kirk Cousins, he only had 2 this week. It was 4 the week before. I get my weeks all boggled together now. But decent numbers, but he's just not getting the job done at all. So I don't know.
And they're still in this, but I don't know. They're fading fast.
Yeah. They're now in second place in the division because we'll get to that in a bit. But first, we have to talk about the Ambien game of the day. The Saints and the Giants.
I was gonna say I was thinking that this was kind of like the worst game of the season, but there's actually another game this week that can compete with them. So I don't even know. This was like the game was like, can we just like have the clock, just record it. It's like neither one of these two teams are going anywhere.
And Derek Carr injures his hand.
Oh yeah, that's bad for that to happen in a game like this. Yeah,
that's the 3rd or 4th time he has dove and hurt his hand or his wrist in his career. Stop doing this.
Yeah.
Stop diving head first when because he keeps landing on the hand with the ball and what are you doing, man? You keep injuring. And Hill's gone. So you should be a little extra careful. Yeah. I mean, the Saints, look, they're 3-1 with their new coach, right?
Yep.
Or are they 2-2, 2-1? I don't know. 2-1 or 3-1? Either way, they're playing better with the new coach. Not great, but better. The Giants, are they tanking now? Do you think?
I think they're definitely tanking. And this is and Dabo goes out there every week, with the attitude that he knows the owner is not going to do anything. I mean, I'll be shocked if he gets fired because it looks like he has that attitude. Like the owner somehow talked to him and said, you know what, we're gonna give this year a pass and you'll get another chance. It's almost like the same thing every time. Oh, we just gotta. We had a good week of practice and we just got to put it on the field. And it's all the same stuff. I don't know.
You can say shite if you want.
Yeah. They must. I don't know if they're outright tanking, but it's like an unwritten and unsaid thing that they are.
Well, that's why I put in I don't know if you saw that, but in the intro I had someone flew a plane over Stadium with a banner that said, "Mr. Mara, enough's enough. Do something."
Yeah.
And this dumpster fire, whatever it said. It's interesting. And that's a great theory about Brian Daboll feeling a little bulletproof.
I think that's what it seems to me. That he was being assured, and then of course people can change their minds, but that's the way it looks like to me, that he's been assured that he's going to get another year.
Well, one of the things that was being discussed was the potential return of this guy.
Yep.
To maybe replace Brian Daboll on his old team, Belichick, where he started his career, and that ain't happening.
Nope.
because Bill Belichick's gonna be hanging out in the sororities
Playing
in North Carolina now,
coaching somewhere else.
Yeah. So that was a shock too. This was like, although my brother put it in a perfect perspective, I was like, this is the weirdest thing. Like, this is the last place I'd expect Bill Belichick to land up is college. Much less, it's not even a top. It's not a blue blood football program.
Right.
It's an also ran in the ACC, and my brother put it up. He said he's got family down there. He likes to fish. He doesn't have to be GM. He doesn't have to do anything except coach kids and develop kids and go fishing. It's kind of he won't have to put in the time, I guess, but he's going to have to recruit. Although, I mean, just having his name on there is probably going to bring people. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't know how he can even relate to young guys.
Is he going to be there that long though? There's this thing in this contract that at just June of 2025, which is not even like he hasn't even coached yet a year.
Mm-hmm.
He has this like $1 million buyout out of the whole thing. Like he can leave.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like it was crazy. It was like the way it was.
Is
who's asking to put that in there? Is it him? I mean, because if the perfect NFL job opens up, he can just, and he has his son coming with him. Maybe he assured him it's like, well, he can just slide in and take over for me. So I don't know. I don't see him like getting out of there with at least one, but I wouldn't be shocked after 1 year. And next year there's going to be some openings in the NFL.
He's no spring chicken. He's
right. I know.
4 years old. We know he's chasing Shula. This is why I was shocked he would go to college.
I know.
It's almost like a forfeit. And you wonder, I mean, he's no dummy. He's on TV. He's got the ear of every general manager in the league. Maybe nobody's interested in hiring him in the NFL, and this is why he did this.
I think that's what happened. I think that he probably reached out to Chicago maybe, and maybe Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville hasn't fired their coach, but
Raiders.
He might have reached out to them, and they're probably not interested. So
that's what it looks like to me. That the league is trending toward the younger coaches over the last 2 decades now. You don't hire a guy in his 70s anymore. They don't bring back the Joe Gibbses anymore.
Ironically enough, the Jets are what need this type of coach, but I know that will never happen with him.
I'm convinced the Jets are going to go with Vrabel.
I'm sure they'll try to. Whether Vrabel goes or not, that's the issue. I know the Jets want him. Yeah, but I don't know. Will Vrabel be asked? Does he have would he like to go to Chicago instead? I don't know.
There's more talent at quarterback.
Yep.
I don't know what Aaron Rodgers' contract's up. I'd let him walk. In fact, if I were the Jets, I would go after Sam Darnold because the Vikings now have a huge problem with quarterback because Sam Darnold is playing at MVP level.
Yep.
Right now, and we know he had the hiccup in the middle. He had a couple games in the middle where it looked like he was reverting back to Sam. But Kevin O'Connell straightened that out right away. Yeah. He looks awesome. And they have J.J. McCarthy waiting to take over. So what do? Do you dump your number 1 pick? You sit him on the bench for another year? Darnold's an unrestricted free agent. He's going to command big bucks now. He's going to be name his price. There's teams all over the place that can use a guy like Sam.
The Giants?
The Raiders, the Giants, the Jets. Does he go back to the Jets? Do the Jets bring him back? I would.
I know if I were the Jets
in New York, you've got all that young talent on that roster. You bring in a guy like Mike Vrabel and add Sam Darnold. I think that's Vrabel will play the type of offense where he'll use the run like Baltimore or Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. The run sets up the pass and the play action, and that would play perfectly with how Sam Darnold plays.
I agree from the Jets' perspective. Is Darnold going to want to get over that part that where his experience there?
It would have to be the coach and GM clearly will be in place, and he's got to like what he sees. If they hire the right guy, if they hire a guy like Mike Vrabel, I think Sam would go
for sure. Okay.
If they go cheap and hire somebody like I don't know, like another Adam Gase kind of a retread, a Matt Eberflus, he won't go there. So. It's all on Woody Johnson.
Yep.
But it's going to be interesting because Minnesota and a lot of teams will are going to have quarterback issues. One team we thought was going to have a quarterback issue looks like they're all set, and that's the Carolina Panthers.
They might not have a quarterback issue.
Wow. I mean, they came this close to beating Philadelphia. If Blake catches that ball, did you see that?
Yeah, game-winning touchdown.
It looked like he had a game-winning, but he dropped it and fell on it, and they caught it. Yeah, that was that close to beating the Eagles. Benching him was the best thing they could have done, and we all thought that's the end.
I know.
We'll never see Bryce Young.
Are they going to try to send him somewhere where he can start all over? I guess, or get like a 6th round back for him or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever happened when he was sitting, I don't know if there was somebody in that organization that kind of took him aside and was able to get through to him. But geez,
I think a lot of it was he got 3 weeks to watch Andy Dalton. And learn. He was drafted onto a dumpster fire of a team.
I know.
Thrown to the wolves. He never had a chance to really just kind of sit and watch. And he's undersized to begin with.
Yep.
And I just think something happened. I mean, you give the kid almost a month to just take it in, and do some film study and just sit and watch. And when you watch, Dalton's not, Joe Namath by any stretch, but Dalton does have pocket patience. He's a veteran. He knows how to run an offense and read a defense. And I think Bryce got to watch that instead. I think it was just the game was going too fast for him, and he got to actually learn how to slow the game down. But whatever, I'm happy for him because
me too.
It was terrible. It was so painful to watch when we were making jokes about it, but it was painful to watch him struggle. I mean, he had games where he was under 100 yards passing routinely.
Yeah.
With a lot of turnovers and just it looked awful. On the other side, the Eagles 9 in a row, and the Philly fans still want the coach fired.
And now they're starting to look like Kansas City is like where they every win is like, okay, just barely over.
Well, that's because they all climb onto Saquon Barkley's back and ride him, which now has started some drama within the team too.
Yep.
You got A.J. Brown after the game saying that their passing game has a problem.
and he's right. I'm not saying it's right for him to do that. I'm saying they do have a problem.
But they don't need to throw it like they used to.
I understand.
Point. Yeah. That's the point. He's another one of these selfish wide receivers who wants the ball 15 times a game, and they don't need to do that.
They don't.
They're running. They're run first now, not pass first.
Right.
So
their defense is really doing really well. So you're right. You don't need to do that.
I won't be surprised if in the offseason A.J. Brown asks for a trade out of there because he'll want to go to a pass-happy team. He'll want to go to Detroit or Atlanta or somewhere where they're going to throw him the ball 15 times a game. He doesn't want to play this kind of football.
Right.
But this is the kind of football that wins you championships.
I know. That's the thing. All the teams now that have like a run type mentality are all like playoff. Well, I mean, we haven't started the playoffs, but they're well on their way to the playoffs. Detroit's got that mentality. So
yeah, running in defense
and all the pass happy teams aren't doing very well.
That era is over. The era of running in defense is back, and running to set up the pass.
Yep.
There's a few exceptions. I would argue maybe Minnesota would be an exception to that. Although, I mean, Aaron Jones is a great running back. But they seem to put up crazy passing numbers every week. Pittsburgh. Well, this wasn't a surprise to anybody. Come on.
Oh, all three of us picked that one.
It kind of played out exactly as I thought it would. A little shocking. Steelers got off to such a slow start. It was like 13-7 at halftime.
Yeah, it was kind of.
And it was a great. I don't know. Have you been watching? And I never watch Hard Knocks. I could care less. I watched the first season, but then I've been hearing so much about they do this in-season one now, and they're doing the AFC North. And I still didn't want to watch it because I don't care. And then everybody's talking about what a rock star Mike Tomlin is on this thing. So, all right, I'll watch it. And they're right. And I got to tell you something. I've been banging on Mike Tomlin for a long time about lack of discipline, kind of letting the inmates run the asylum at times. I take it back because when you see what he's doing behind the scenes. No, this dude's a great coach.
Well, maybe it was heading that way little by little, and he kind of like realized it and kind of, you know, straightened it out.
He's and ironically, what it's bearing out, because you're seeing all four coaches in that division. His communication skills are light years.
Yeah.
Ahead of Harbaugh, ahead of Stefanski, and ahead of Zach Taylor. Like when they go to the other film rooms and stuff, those guys are like, they're not inspiring.
Right.
Tomlin's very inspiring. And it's just, you know, and he talks to people like, I can't even put into words. It's worth a watch. It really is worth a watch. Especially week 2, they're talking about the Steelers Bengals. They have them mic'd up, you know, and they're coming off the field at halftime, and Cam Hayward comes up to him and says, "Oh my God, we're having trouble stopping the run." And he goes, "Yeah, I didn't make that shit up about that guy. I told you that." He goes, "So get your guys together and straighten your shit out." It was like, it was just like awesome, like to hear that as they're walking off the field, you know, because he was warning them about Chase Brown all week, and you know, you wondered if he was getting eye rolls or not, but. It's worth a watch. It's really good. And I got to say, Kevin Stefanski, I like him a lot too. And I got to say, you know what? He's got the Browns playing hard right to the end.
I know he does. They definitely haven't quit. I know.
They haven't quit, and he's instilled that in them especially when you watch this show. He's talking about how important, yeah, we're out of it, but it doesn't matter. Every game still matters because we're talking about your careers. We're talking about your life. I like Stefanski a lot, and I hope, you know, the knee-jerk reaction in Cleveland would be to ditch him after a bad season, but I hope they don't.
Oh, they
you know what? If they do, he'll catch on somewhere else.
Oh yeah, they definitely shouldn't.
He is a really good coach. Okay.
Speaking of dumpster fires.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and I like him, but I don't think Antonio Pierce survives this.
I don't think so either.
There's nothing. I mean, you got Brock Bowers, and it ends right there.
And that's it. Yeah.
I mean, why they let Josh Jacobs walk is still mind-boggling to me. God, you know, like what happened to this team?
They kind of just had that like one season of like all out, and then it was like that wasn't nearly enough to even make it, and instead of like using that as a springboard to the next season, it was kind of I don't know. It's got to be something with the coaching, and
it's the ownership too. Mark Davis,
definitely ownership as well.
So Tom Brady might
maybe with Tom. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe with Tom Brady taking an active role, maybe it'll get better.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom before you can go up, right? I think the Raiders are there. I didn't expect this. I knew they were going to be, you know, under 500, but I didn't expect a 2-win to this point season. And it's just bad. And they're non-competitive now. I mean, every week Brock Bowers gets 100+ yards.
Yeah.
He's probably in the running for rookie of the year, but he won't get it because he's on a travesty of a team.
And their quarterback situation is bad. But I mean, if they get number 1 or number 2 pick, maybe that'll correct it, or at least try to.
Well, they've got the track on Shadir Sanders right now, and then do you bring in Dion to coach this team?
Right.
And they probably will.
Maybe.
Because 1, Mark Davis likes a media circus. 2, Tom Brady likes a media circus. What a great story. All eyes on Vegas. Dion coaching his son, number 1 pick with the Raiders. Where the headlines write themselves, man. On the other side, we get the battle of the Pirates here.
That's right.
Baker Mayfield keeps on Baker Mayfielding, and they are now in first place mathematically at 7-6. If they can just keep that pace the rest of the year, they'll win the division and host a playoff game. Who would have thought that after they got swept by the Falcons and were under 500 with their 2 top receivers out?
With the 2 top receivers out, how they held it together. Mayfield's so good, just in his psychological makeup.
He is the glue. He is the glue and the Scotch tape is Cade Otton.
Oh.
And Bucky Irving. The emergence of Bucky Irving really helped.
Can you imagine like they coast in like Minnesota has to go into Tampa Bay in the wild card.
Green Bay might have to go into Tampa Bay.
Green Bay. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
Maybe even Washington. I don't know. That would be a kind of a fun game.
Yeah. But, I can't help but root for them. I love Baker Mayfield. He would have made such a nice Steeler, wouldn't he?
Well, Cleveland was well on their way up. Remember that year where he was still there and they beat, I believe they beat Pittsburgh. Was that the divisional?
Pittsburgh, yeah.
And then they went and took Kansas City to like I think they should have won that. Personally, I think they should have won that game, obviously, but
yeah, and the worst, they knocked Mahomes out of that game and still lost.
And then why they got rid of him?
Yeah, because they saw the shiny new ball,
of course.
The new toy.
Yeah, how'd that work?
I was mad at them, and that's why I can't stand the Cleveland franchise. I respect their fans like no other, I hate their franchise because of what they did to this guy. He was so beat up that year. His shoulder was hanging off. He was all busted up. They're taping him together every week, and he was going out there and giving it his all. And then they cut him for a guy with a off the field record like Deshaun Watson's. They deserve whatever happens to them in Cleveland. And if I'm Myles Garrett, I'm like, get me the F out of here. Enough.
Something there that he likes. I don't know.
Because I guarantee they're going to let Jameis Winston walk out the door this year too.
That would be a mistake.
They won't be able to afford him. How can they afford him? They're so cap strapped because of that Watson contract and Garrett's contract. There's so much dead salary cap on that team. Did anybody watch this game?
This was the other game that competed with the worst game of the season with the New Orleans Giants game. I can't believe we had a week with two of these games.
Well, there was another one coming up too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. This was kind of just like a slog fest, I guess.
I got to say, though, I got one clip here from this game. Believe it or not, I do have a clip from this game. And Will Levis hasn't Will Levised. He hasn't been butt-headed in a long time.
Wasn't his fault on this one.
No, but it's almost like it's a contagion, and it went across the line of scrimmage and landed on Mac Jones. Right?
Oh my gosh.
What is that? That's what you get when you get Jacksonville and Tennessee lining up to tee it off.
That's why I picked Tennessee, but man, it still wasn't enough. Would have stayed away from that game.
Holy moly. Yeah. What else needs to be said? These are two teams that need a lot of help, and Doug Peterson's not going to survive this. Tennessee, they're probably going to give him another year, but that's it for Peterson. I mean, he's supposed to be some kind of offensive genius, and
yeah. And on Tennessee side, shame on you for getting rid of Vrabel for this.
Yeah, not only getting rid of Vrabel, but they kind of they decimated their roster.
Yeah,
they got rid of AJ Brown. They got rid of oh my God, the guy in Kansas City.
I know it.
Hopkins. They got rid of the king.
Yeah,
losing Derrick Henry just set them back.
Like Derrick Henry and AJ Brown. How the heck can you lose both of those?
And not that Tannehill was Y.A. Tittle, but they let their starting quarterback leave. He's sitting home on a couch somewhere because no one signed him. And they bring in Will Levis and Mason Rudolph to take over. Yeah. Instead of going out and getting somebody, I don't know who would want to ever sign there. If any free agents sign there, it's just about the money.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Tony Pollard.
Yeah. Tony Pollard. There was another why Dallas let him get away. Although Rico Dowdle, Where you go, Donald?
He's kind of like getting it.
Yeah.
Took him most of the season, but
oh, your Seahawks, Edson, your Seahawks.
my Seahawks.
They might have sewn up the division with
I
this
should
one.
have picked them in this game.
They might have sewn it up. No, it's a sweep of Arizona.
Yeah, that's the only. Well, maybe there's another division like this, but it's a division where you're in first place 2 weeks ago, and now you're in last place. This division is crazy.
This division is. And that changed again 4 days later, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I know. That changed again.
Yeah, Geno Smith just keeps on keeping on, man.
He really had a tough stretch there where they lost like 3 or 4 in a row against teams like the Giants and so. But now it seems like he's, hopefully he'll be able to stay on this, because it's like a playoff run now. But that's another team that may host a Green Bay or Minnesota or something like that in the playoffs if they win this division.
I think they're going to win it, and they're going to have double-digit wins. They've righted the ship. What's his name? Mike. Oh God, he's the singer. Fleetwood Mac singer. What's his name? Michael McDonald has them playing well, and I got to see some of Geno's post-game his post-game comments, and he's got his head screwed on straight. He's definitely got an eye on bigger things. I'm happy for Geno. I'm always happy for reclamation projects, guy. And to see a guy who kicked around the league for almost a decade before he finally figured it out. And, props to Seattle for sticking with him.
Yeah.
I mean, they jettisoned Russell Wilson because they believed in Geno Smith. I mean, fooled me. Then again, the same team was.
Then again, Russell Wilson is starting to become a reclamation project.
Right.
Another team. So,
but it's ironic because Russell Wilson was actually, remember they signed, what was his name? Matt, the kid from Green Bay, to a big contract.
Oh, that's right.
They brought him in on a big contract, and then you started hearing grumblings about this Russell Wilson kid that was beating him out in camp. And what was that Green Bay? Matt something. I can't remember his name now.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but if Bruce was here, he would know.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, going back 13 years ago, they all of a sudden coming out of camp, they were going to go with this kid we never heard of, Russell Wilson, that was actually drafted by the Yankees to play baseball.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they go, become one of the most dominant teams of that decade. So, so Seattle's got this track record of going with people nobody else believes in and winning. So good on them. The Cardinals, they're exceeding expectations. They're
definitely,
I don't know if they're 1 or 2 years ahead of schedule right now.
They definitely fit in that role of a surprise team.
The interesting stat is that their leading receiver is their tight end, McBride.
Yep.
But he has 0 touchdowns. He has over 1,000 yards receiving already, but he has 0 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison Jr. only has like 700 yards receiving, but he has like 7 touchdowns. So he's getting he's reaping the reward of McBride getting him down the field.
Yep,
and then James Conner, that guy's he's so productive.
They have all the pieces there. They just need a couple.
Yeah, they just need a couple more. Yeah, their defense is a little shaky. But I thought they'd be like a 5-win team, and that would have been an improvement from last year. Yeah. I think I picked them to come in 3rd in this division. So
and they probably will. That's probably where they'll come in.
They might. Yeah, they got a shot at 2nd.
Well, Seattle's got I believe it might be the very last game of the regular season, a crucial Rams game that might decide we want to have one of those classic end of the year that deciding the division type. I don't know. Maybe it will be done by then, but we'll see.
Well, at least the NFL tried to make Week 18 relevant now by scheduling division.
All the divisional games, yep.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, in the past, going back 10, 15 years ago, I would never even pay attention to last week. Almost every game was meaningless. There might be one that mattered, or it'd be one of those crazy things where well, this team has to get in. If this team loses, this team, this game, whoa! We thought the Green Bay Detroit was a track meet. Holy,
this was unbelievable.
This was unbelievable. And I got some stats here too, if I can find them. Where is it? Bills at Rams. So the Vikings receivers had a field day, but so did the Rams receivers. If we look at this, Puka Nacua, 162 for a tutty. Cooper Kupp, 92 for a tutty. That's just unbelievable. Talk about a track meet. And Josh Allen, this might have been the most amazing thing I've ever seen. This is the first time someone's thrown for 3 touchdowns and rushed for 3 touchdowns in a game with no interceptions. What was his quarterback rating here? It's not on here. Let me zoom it out a little bit. Nope, it's not on here. Well, how about 1,000%?
Well, you can only get 158.3. I don't know where they get that number, but
the ball hit the ground 15 times, but other than that, my God, I mean, can you try any harder to will your team to victory and still come up 2 points?
I know. That's kind of like the strength and the weakness of this team. It's like if he can't do it, then it's like the rest of the team is like not supportive enough. I don't know what he's gonna do.
And the guy on the other side is no slouch either. Super Bowl champion Matthew Stafford. Still putting up great numbers at his age. That's
why this team on the NFC is a lot like, Cincinnati's season's over, and we'll get to that. But this team is like the Cincinnati of an NFC. Like if they can just scrape their way into the playoffs, no one's going to want to see them coming because they got these 2 receivers that can match up to any top 2 receivers in the league, and it's like they can do this against a first place team, against a team like Buffalo.
And this is the first time they've both been healthy together in a long time.
Yeah. That's why they're like kind of struggling with a record.
Yeah.
Because of the injuries. But if they can get in there, wow.
And don't look now, the Rams can also run the ball. Kyrie Williams is been a pleasant surprise, I think, for most of the people watching. I don't think anybody expected the Rams running game to do much. So they are. I mean, let's look. They started 1-4. They were
1-4,
devastated by injuries, and they've righted the ship. They're really, like you said, a dangerous team. And when you've got Matthew Stafford delivering like that, look out. You're right. Who's going to want to face them come postseason?
They got out to such a fast start against Buffalo. Was just going uphill the whole game. Like in the first half, the Rams offense, it was like this pitch perfect. Everything went perfect. Like no ball hit the ground. All the blocks were perfect. I don't know. Everybody just ran the play so like without any kind of mistakes. I don't know what happened there.
And beyond this year, watch out, because that defensive line, you've got 2 rookies on that line.
Yep.
Verst and Fisk that are really good, and they're only going to get better. It took 2 guys to replace Aaron Donald, but
right.
But I think, down the road, you're going to find out that 2 is better than 1. This is a team. Look, they might make the playoffs. They may win a playoff game. I don't expect them to go much further than that this year, but they are going to be back in force next year. I think.
I think so.
They're a good team. Woo! Some idiot on this show picked Chicago to win this game.
I was like, I'm not touching
that. Did that. Who's that idiot? Who is that? Oh, me. Yeah. Yeah. My hopes were dashed right here at halftime when the Bears had 4 total yards.
I had to read that over and over and over again to actually believe it. 4
total yards, minus
over 300.
7 rushing yards, minus 3 passing yards to San Francisco at halftime. Those are game totals for most people. Had 320 total yards, 254 passing, and 66 on the ground. Yeah, that is sad, folks.
I don't. Well, I have no explanation of what could happen to that Chicago offense because they were like making such strides, and it's not like the San Francisco defense is that great this year because of the injuries and loss of players. I just don't know what happened here with them. They just did not want to go and play that game.
Yeah, I see. I went with that. Hey, they changed coaches in
Right,
Chicago.
yeah.
They're inspired, and they were inspired to sink to even lower depths. Tom Brown, sorry, rude dude. You better scour the want ads. This is getting worse in Chicago.
And San Francisco is not exactly playing at full strength. I mean, they got injuries all over the place. So
that's what shocked me.
Which is why you picked them. I know one of the reasons why, because San Francisco is like, just
they don't even have a running back right now. Really,
I know they're like on their 4th or 5th. On the depth chart.
Yeah, but I did say, I think if you rewind the tape to last week's show, I said I'll pick Chicago, but watch, this will be the game Kittle goes off, and Kittle had like 100
and he did
yards, and he did. Yeah, what a mess. Yeah, the Bears were 4-2 at one point, and we were talking playoffs, and now they're 4-9. Right? Yeah, 4-9. Yeah. Sorry, Chicago. It's the same old up there. And then there was the doink. The doink heard round the world.
Another game. It's like you can't. It's like you expect this every week now. No matter who they play, they just gonna be like 1 or 2 points ahead in the end. I don't know.
They can't score. They can't even score 20 points. Even by adding DeAndre Hopkins to their roster. And now they have Juju Smith-Schuster back healthy. They have, what's his face, the running back, number 10. Isaiah Pacheco's back.
Pacheco, yeah.
Like they still can't score more than 20 points. Something's not right. I mean, can anyone explain this? I mean, when they add Hollywood Brown, I mean, let's just preseason, right? You see them add Hollywood Brown. They draft Worthy. They have Pacheco. They have Kelsey. They go and pick up Juju Smith-Schuster. You're like, uh-oh. The Chiefs are loaded. They're going to be like they were with Tyreek Hill, putting up 40 points a game. It's going to be crazy. Remember that game they had against the Rams a couple of years ago? It was like 54-48 or whatever. Yeah. You're thinking that, right? And then they start losing players. But then they bring in Hopkins. And you're still like, okay. I don't know what's going on. And Andy Reid's an offensive guru. I
know. I was just thinking of that. This must drive him crazy that their offense is like this.
But I think he's okay with it. I mean,
yeah,
and they're on their 3rd kicker too, and they just keep winning. It's so frustrating. Remember that montage I had a couple weeks ago of all their like narrow wins? I gotta add this one to it. And there's probably going to be 3 or 4 more by the end of this. Oh, my God.
I mean, I can't explain, like you were asking, can someone explain this? I know this isn't the end all, but I know they have a huge left tackle problem.
Yeah,
and if Mahomes is running around, he's taking quite a lot of hits lately, a lot of sacks, but not just sacks, but hits. And doesn't seem like the officials are totally moved over yet. I mean, they're still letting them play it somewhat. And I don't know if he doesn't have the time to get it downfield, then that could explain some of the low scoring, but it doesn't explain everything. I don't know. There's something else going on.
No, but they'll watch him go get Trent Williams in the offseason.
Oh, right? Gosh. Oh, man.
Just look, the rest of the league, stop dealing with the Chiefs. Just let them die. Just stop giving them players.
That would be really bad. They get Trent Williams.
Don't give them any players. Yeah, and the Chargers, this was disappointing to me.
Yeah, me too.
I really thought they were going to go in there and pull one out. It's like if you want to make a statement that you're ready to make a run in the postseason, this is the game you had to show yourself. And
yeah,
they hung in there, but
I expected them to like have a better running game, just smash it down their throats and things like that. But
there's just not enough in their arsenal yet. I mean, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year, and the fact that the Chargers are even in it is amazing. And that's because they have that quarterback. And Lad McCankey. And then I got to tell you something. I watched this game on my flight home. This was one of the most entertaining games I've ever watched. But first of all, did anybody watch the Simpsons version of this?
I didn't, but
I did. I watched the first part of the first quarter. It was cool for about 5 seconds. It was pretty stupid. I put some of it in the open where it was kind of cute where they would swap in Simpsons characters in oh, Joe Burrow just got pulled for Homer Simpson, it was, but it was one of those real time where they were just they were superimposing the Simpsons players over the real players. It looked like a video game. It was like, And the commentators were just awful. It was Dan Orlovsky and Mina Kimes, and it was just bad. But I guess kids liked it. I think the whole point was to get kids into football.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because it was on ESPN Plus and Disney Plus.
Okay.
It wasn't on anything where you had to subscribe to a streaming service to watch it. But why was this one of the most entertaining games of the year? This was just a good football game. And
it's
until
it's weird how you see two teams in the same kind of situation where they're not going to, that's a wasted type season, have a pretty good entertaining game.
Yeah, no, and it was pretty well played until this happened.
I love that shot of the special teams coach. Yeah, we did it. Oh, no. Get out of there.
I was stunned. I'm like, oh my God, why did that guy try to field that? Just get out of the way. Let it bounce out of bounds. You'll be set up it's almost in field goal range, right?
There's the game there.
I just kept thinking, only the Cowboys can do this. That was a very Jets thing to do.
It's the old Leon Let's play.
It really was. It really was. I mean, my God, again, fundamentals. And that's why teams like this don't win consistently. It's fundamental. You got to be smart, have your head on. But a lot of these guys, especially special teams, they get on the field a couple times a game. They want to make a name for themselves. They want to make a big splash play.
For one opportunity, I know.
He was hoping to grab that ball and run it back and bounce up his arm and oopsie doops.
Like that guy a few weeks ago against Washington who got the onside kick and ran it in. That could have gone wrong. If that happened, that would have been just as bad of a play.
Wasn't it? That was the same guy, 27.
Was it the same guy? Oh my gosh. I was just wasn't even thinking of that.
I think it was the same guy.
Oh boy. I have
to go back and look at the clip of the Washington game, but I think it was 27.
Well,
that would explain why he went for that ball. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, but what a finish. What a finish. And you know what? I mean, that didn't give Cincinnati the win because it was still
I know.
On the other side of midfield. Burrow then connects with Jamar Chase, who does a spin move and takes it to the house.
Yep.
Almost a play or two later. So, but what a great game. And boy, Cincinnati, they're mathematically still
I know.
And they're going to fight till they're eliminated. But poor Joe Burrow, I mean, he's put up such amazing numbers this year. And Jamar Chase too.
I know. Unfortunately, I think it's going to go to waste, but.
And unfortunately for Dallas, this Overshown, his knee injury is so bad, he's going to miss all of next year.
Oh, man.
It's bad. Like I guess he previously had an ACL injury to the same knee, and now he's got an ACL, MCL, maybe even a PCL. He's got to have his whole knee reconstructed, and they're looking at 2026 for his return, which is awful because he was an emerging superstar on that team. You looked at him and Parsons, and you're like, these are the two guys you build this Dallas defense around, and now this guy's gone for a year and a half. That's a shame. That's heartbreaking because I like him, and he's fun to watch, Overshown. And it's just a shame that had to happen like that. That was awful to hear.
In a game where it's not even a playoff game or anything like that.
It's a meaningless game for the most part. Yeah, playing for contracts and whatnot.
Yeah, and here's the Bengals. I know they're not mathematically eliminated, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to. But that's a team on the AFC where no one would want to see them coming if they made the playoffs.
Yeah, but talking about like Dallas and building your defense around those two guys, Cincinnati's got nobody to build around except for Hendrickson. Hendrickson's the only guy on that team worth keeping. They are really bad on defense. I mean, they played a little better this week. It was a fun. It was a
good game.
It was just especially being on an airplane, it was just a good game to watch. There was a lot of drama. It was a close game all the way through. Nobody was, making a lot of mistakes. It was just a good, solid football game, I thought. So that's it for week 14. Now we go to week 15. And
4 weeks left.
Look, I'm going to be the first to admit this. I missed this game because I was working late. And I'm probably the less said about it, the better. But
you were probably lucky to miss this game.
What?
I tried to watch this game. I mean, I did, but it's like, are you kidding me?
Okay, hang on a second. I just want to go back in time. Let's go back in time. We got the 49ers put up 38 and the Rams put up 44. Okay. That's let me do the math here. 82 points. The two teams combined 82 points, and then they get together this week and put up 18. This is part of the problem with Thursday night football, to be honest with you. Short week. These guys are gassed. Yeah. I mean, it's a division game. We know everybody ups their game when they're playing division opponents, but hello.
This was I couldn't figure out the explanation to this game. We've
had all field goals.
Especially, I just these two coaches are offensive coaches, and it's like.
And okay, we can, like we said before, maybe because the 49ers, they're all beat up.
Oh yeah, their injuries
have a decent defense, but the Rams, shocking.
The Rams are, you got those two healthy receivers.
They're healthy. But you know what? The bottom line is a win 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 is a win, and the Rams got their win. So, hey, they're on their way.
Which is why it's possible that between the Rams and the Seahawks, if one of them is going to win that division, it's possible one of them is going to go home and it'll be very disappointing for one of them. So
yeah, it will be because there's only 7 spots.
Yeah.
And 4 of them are taken by the division winners. So, all right, we got to get into our picks for the week. And since he's not here, I'll do the shout outs this week. My shout out is to our colleague, Bruce Blue. Bruce, hello out there in Pahonix, Arizona. I hope things are on the up. And then once again, all the best to your Uncle Gene. So get well soon. So week 15. What do we got here? You go first, Mr. 4-1. Look at me. I'm itching. I'm 4-1 again.
But it was disappointing because I wasn't 5-0. But anyways.
Would you like a bowl or a cup of crybaby soup? Would you like some wine to go with that cheese? Cheese to go with that wine. That's what it is.
Cheese to go with that wine.
You know what I meant. Cheese to go with the wine.
All right, that game is right here on the screen, just screaming out at me. Washington and the Saints. I mean, Washington just got all better on their offense. Looks like Jaden Daniels got all healthy. They have the bye to even get even healthier. And the Saints, like, what can we say about the Saints? I mean, they got by the Giants by 14-11. Obviously, they're at home, but I don't give them much of a chance, so I'm going with Washington.
Okay. My first pick of the week is Washington.
Oh, okay.
Over the Saints. Yeah, for all the same reasons you said. I mean, the Saints, Carr might actually play. I guess his hand.
Oh, I thought that was the other reason I thought he was in. Okay.
Yeah, well, he is. I think he's listed as questionable at this point.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. His hand is hurt. His hand is hurt. The Saints are the Saints, and Washington looks like now. I think his Jaden Daniels ribs are healed because he's looking like he did at the beginning of the year again. I would think that probably one more, maybe 2 more wins, and they're in. So they got their eye on the prize in Washington. Yeah. What's your second pick?
Oh, right. So we're gonna wait for the end, probably for.
You always do Bruce's? Wait.
No, we could wait till the end if you want.
No. I'll do Bruce's. Let me see. I just got to pull up his text real quick.
I can do that too.
Let's see. Bruce's picks. Oh, here it is. It's that long. Here it goes.
Well, of course,
he picked Green Bay.
Yeah,
he picked Green Bay.
Yeah,
that's so odd. That's so unlike him. I don't understand why he would do that. But okay, Bruce, Green Bay, and Green Bay is playing who?
This is probably going to be a good game, and and I think this might be the first time this year I've been staying away from them. I'm going to go with him.
Whoa!
Green Bay over Seattle. I know. It's in Seattle, which, classically it's been the big home field. Although this year hasn't really been that big of an advantage for them. And I know Seattle's coming up, right? But Green Bay has shown me, even in the loss to Detroit, that they're firing on all cylinders, both offense and defense, running game. I know Love is he's always gonna have some kind of like weird play that might hurt him, but he's very resilient, and I'm gonna go with Green Bay as well.
Wow,
this is the first time this year that I'm gonna pick them.
Wow, there's a lot of games that are very lopsided looking this week, but the ones that are close, the good ones like this one, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, you got Buffalo, Detroit. Those are going to be really good games.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I'm not going near that game with a 10-foot cattle prod. My second pick is yours and America's team, the Denver Broncos.
Oh, okay.
At home against the Colts. Broncos are good.
Yep.
I'm convinced now the Broncos are good. They have a really solid defense. Bo Nix, if Jaden Daniels wasn't being Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix would have Rookie of the Year.
I agree.
Locked up. And it's so funny because Sean Payton took so much crap for drafting him.
I know.
He knew something nobody else did. Bo Nix is awesome. He's got that John Elway vibe about him, doesn't he? He's got the swagger that John Elway had.
Yeah.
Toughness John Elway had. He's a Denver Bronco quarterback. It's probably first time since Elway. I mean, I know they had Peyton Manning in there and won a Super Bowl and went to 2 Super Bowls with Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning was they got him from the Colts because of the neck injury and whatnot. He was brought in. I'm talking about like homegrown Denver Bronco quarterbacks. This guy is probably, it's his rookie year. We'll see how this plays out over time, but he just reminds me of Elway.
Yeah. I think he's going to be fun to watch for years to come.
I do too. So that's mine. Bruce's second pick, if my phone would stop going to sleep, he picked the Baltimore Ravens this week. The Baltimore Ravens are doing what? Where are they? Where's Baltimore? There they are. Oh, they're playing the Giants. That's his layup.
Okay. This will be the Giants. One time the Giants.
Oh, can you imagine?
No, I don't think that'll happen. I mean, Baltimore's coming off the bye. They're coming off of a really bad loss. So it's like, no, I can't see them losing this game.
I can't either.
It will be the Giants Super Bowl of the Super Bowl game.
The Ravens now, they're ceding ground to Pittsburgh. They're almost one more loss. They're out of this.
That's it. Yeah.
And they've got Pittsburgh next week head to head. But look, they can't afford to lose any more games or they might fall out of the AFC wild card race. They can't lose any more.
Yeah, can you imagine that going from trying to be a division winner to being completely out of the playoffs? Yeah,
that could happen. They can't give any more ground. They've got to stick with 5 losses, or they're in big trouble, I think. So that's Bruce's second pick. What's your third?
I too am going with Denver. I've been writing on Denver for a few weeks, so one of these weeks is probably going to bite me.
It shouldn't be this week.
This week, and the thing is, there's got to be some urgency with them in this particular week because Indianapolis is fighting with them for a playoff spot.
Yes,
they need to not just win for themselves, but to try to put some distance from them, because the rest of the year, Denver does not have an easy schedule. I know they have Kansas City somewhere in there. They do not have an easy schedule, and they really need to try to solidify that spot to make the playoffs there. So
amen to that, brother. And I see the Denver defense really confusing Richardson.
Right.
Richardson is, he shows flashes of brilliance, but he's also prone to boneheaded mistakes. And I think he has trouble reading defenses right now. He just doesn't have enough experience, and Denver's got a good defense. So good pick. My third pick. You ready for this one?
Uh-oh.
You have your seatbelt on your office chair there?
Let me hold on to the arms.
I'm going with the Cats, the Big Cats, the Carolina Panthers to beat the Dallas Cowboys at home. Carolina Panthers.
I love that pick.
Upset special of the week. Especially Dallas just lost Overshown on defense. So the way Bryce Young has looked, the Panthers took Kansas City to the wire. They took, who did they play last week again? I forgot already.
The Carolina?
Yeah. Who did they play?
Oh, all right. So they took Philadelphia.
Philadelphia to the wire. So they did the Chiefs, the Eagles, two of the best teams in the league.
And the Eagles, yeah.
Took them
they should have beaten the Eagles if that catch would maybe.
Yeah, should have taken. They both to the wire. Adam Thielen's been balling out. Chuba Hubbard has been balling out.
Yeah,
Bryce Young has been balling out. I'm going with the Panthers this week, baby. They're no longer a joke.
No, I think they're. I know it's like I'm getting way far ahead of but I'm already getting excited for next year's Panthers.
and our colleague Bruce agrees with me. He also has Carolina.
He also has, yep.
Over Dallas. All right, Bruce. We're rocking it, brother. All right, what's your fourth pick?
I'm staying on the Darnold bandwagon and picking Minnesota. I know it's a division game, and this will probably be the one game that Chicago kind of does that NFL surprise where you see someone get beat badly the previous week and then come back and win the following week. But I'm going to stick with Minnesota. They're still trying to get that division and has a shot at the number 1 seed. So I don't see them losing to the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears. The
Bears are playing the Bears. Yeah,
they're on a downward spiral. The Bears.
It's a 2 Monday night games. That's right.
Monday night games.
That's right. This was the season that they put 2 Monday night games. Right.
Yeah.
Lucky they put this one on because the other one doesn't look too good.
And it's actually funny because when I was on the flight home, I was switching back and forth between the Manning cast on ESPN2 and the main ESPN cast. And I watched the first half of the Manning cast a lot because Belichick's on. And I just love to listen to Belichick, get into the forensics of football. I find it fascinating. I just love coach speak sometimes. And even though a lot of it I don't really get, it's just fun to listen to, especially him with the Mannings. They really they're talking a foreign language sometimes, and then he goes off at halftime and then I turn it off. And it's funny because when he signed off at halftime, they said, well, that's the last time he's going to be on this year until the playoffs. They said, oh, we'll see you in the playoffs, coach. He might not be doing the playoffs either. So maybe he kind of knew he was going to Carolina and he couldn't do the football. And
that is weird that he said that. That's the last time. It's like,
yeah, he's been on every week. So, but with 2 games this week, I don't think there is a Manning cast. There might be. I don't think so, though. But I don't know. Who knows? This is like the 3rd or 4th time this year they've done 2 Monday night games.
Yeah. I think it's the 3rd time yet. Weeks 2 and 3, and then now this one.
Yeah, but I think we can safely flush the Bears for the year, and this will be it. They're in the blue water, and goodbye. My fourth pick, I'm sticking with the Cats. The theme with the Cats.
Oh.
I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, okay.
Over your favorite team, the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
I know it's in Tennessee, and I know Cincinnati's defense blows, but there's a look to the Cincinnati team, and until they're mathematically eliminated, I think they believe they can get in.
Wow. Okay.
And they probably can. If they finish 9-8, they can.
Oh yeah, they can. It definitely can.
They can get in, and if they do, they are going to be dangerous, like you said. I think this is almost a layup for them. I think they win this game. They go to 6-8, and look out, they're building a little momentum. Let's see what Bruce has here for his fourth pick. He's got the Chiefs. He picked the Chiefs
against Cleveland. Yeah,
against Cleveland.
It is in Cleveland, and if Winston can take advantage of the Kansas City secondary, I don't know.
I don't know. I think anybody on this show who picks the Chiefs should be kicked off the show.
That's 2 weeks in a row he's doing it.
Oh, the Chiefs. We're sick of the Chiefs. Come on, Cleveland. Come on, Jameis. Pull one out.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have to double Garrett the whole time, which means the rest of the offensive line is gonna need some help.
He's sharpening his blade for that left.
Yeah.
If Myles Garrett plays like he did 2 weeks ago against Pittsburgh, the Chiefs are done. They're dead because he'll eat that tackle for lunch.
My God.
It doesn't matter who they put in over there. Yeah. Which Myles Garrett shows up. It's funny because last week he didn't do anything really against Pittsburgh. And again, going back to that in-season Hard Knocks show, he had there was something wrong with him. Like he'd come off the field and he was coughing his lungs out. Like he couldn't breathe. Like he had bronchitis or something.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's what's great about something like that. Like nobody else showed that. Nobody else talked about that. He was like throwing up, like coughing so much he was throwing up. Every time he came off the field, he couldn't breathe.
Maybe the flu.
Could be a flu, pneumonia, bronchitis. Who knows what he had? But everybody's like, "Oh, he didn't do crap against the Steelers last week." And look, I have issues. I don't think he's defensive player of the year. He's awesome, but TJ had better numbers last year. Yep. I think TJ should have won that. But the bottom line is he's one of the elite pass rushers in the game, and that's the kind of stuff you don't get to see a lot. That he was sick. There was something wrong with him. Was never reported. Nobody talked about it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't on the Hard Knocks show, you would never know.
He probably, the way he looks at it is like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't something that's going to keep me away from work.
Oh, no, he's a gamer. That guy will go out there with a broken leg if he has to. So look, I hope he's healthy this week because I'd love to see them pick the Chiefs off because that would set up the Christmas game with Pittsburgh. Because if Pittsburgh beats the Chiefs, if the Chiefs have 2 losses going into the Christmas Day game against Pittsburgh, and the Steelers still have 3 losses, and the Steelers beat them head to head, and they both end up with 3 losses, the Steelers win the tiebreaker and get home advantage.
Yep.
So let's go, Browns. Do us a solid. All right. So we're circled back to your 5th pick now.
This is probably going to be like the same type of thing with the whole Tennessee last week, but I know it's going to shock you. Now you hold on.
Oh my God.
But the Jets showed me something. They went into Miami and they should have won that game. I'm going to pick them over the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they'll finally
take the Jaguars.
No. I think now that they are officially mathematically eliminated, that they are going to win because that'll be a Jets thing.
Well, it's funny you say that because my 5th pick is also the New York Jets.
Okay.
Jets bag doesn't want to come back next week. Jets bag wants a week off.
There's a lot of other good games on here that I'm trying to stay away from. Like the Detroit Buffalo is going to be like crazy probably, and
Tampa and the Chargers.
Oh, Pittsburgh. Tampa and the Chargers, that's the one, and then Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. Holy cow!
And believe it or not, the Patriots and the Cardinals is a scary game.
That is probably going to be a good game.
As is Miami, Houston.
Oh my
There's
gosh,
a
that's
couple
right.
of games that are tough to
I wanted
pick.
to stay away from there because
Yeah.
both Miami and Houston are having a lot major issues this year, and it's like, who knows?
I mean, Houston should win that game, but because it's in Houston, but you never know. Let's see. Bruce's 5th pick is he went with Arizona over New England at home.
Yeah,
it's probably safe. I mean, you would expect
I think
that.
that's going to be a close game.
Hey, the way Drake May's been playing, coming off a bye week, right? So,
last week, no more bye week, so rest of the year you just get the full slate.
Yeah, which is awesome.
More games to pick from.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. The Patriots are interesting. I don't know what to make of them right now. And
I know
Jared Mayo survived this probably because I think Kraft lost.
I think they will. He will.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy. Before we go, let's just check a few things here. First, let's check we never looked at this much, the leaderboard real quick.
Okay.
Here are your top quarterbacks so far
Wow.
this year. You got Joe Burrow, Geno Smith.
Holy cow.
Second, Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Lamar, Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy. All these guys are over 3,000 yards, all the way to Josh Allen. And Aaron Rodgers is right on the cusp of 3,000 yards. So way down off the list is Russell Wilson. That's only because he's only played 7 games.
Well, yeah, he hasn't played the full season.
Your rushing leaders, Saquon Barkley, with 16-23. He's got a 200-yard lead now over Derrick Henry. So looks like Saquon will probably take that one home unless something.
Still on track for 2,000 yards. Wow.
And the previously aforementioned Kyron Williams with the Rams over 1,000 yards this year. Josh Jacobs over 1,000 yards, and Jahmyr Gibbs and Chuba Hubbard, all over 1,000 yards. Bijan Robinson's right on the cusp, as is Kamara and Tony Pollard. So, and then in the 800s, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, blah, blah, blah. And receiving, Jamar Chase, 93 catches for 1,300 yards. Far and away the top receiver in the league. Brock Bowers at 933. I thought he was over 1,000.
Wow. 1,300. Holy cow.
Yeah. Trey McBride, 851. Kelsey snuck in there, 80 receptions, 682. Let's sort this by yards. So Justin Jefferson's at 1170. So 2 receivers over 1,000. CeeDee Lamb, which is amazing to me that he has 85 catches for 973 on a team where he's the only weapon they got.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And how about the resurgence of Jerry Jeudy in Cleveland? 59 catches, 944 yards. That's productivity right there.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Winston's in there.
59 catch. Right. I would say that probably most of those yards are after Deshaun Watson. After Deshaun Watson got hurt. This is all Jameis Winston, 5 games. Brock Bowers, 933 on 87 catches. Jackson Smith in can't enunciate today. Scary Terry McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, Darnell Mooney, on and on and on and on. So that's your leaders. And just want to look at the standings. Where do they keep that? Where's the little pop down thing? Why won't it pop down? Come on, pop down.
Where's the
stupid thing? Pop down. Maybe I have to zoom back out. There it is. Because they hide it somewhere in here. I always forget where they are.
Well, there's a playoff picture over
there it is. Standings. Yeah, playoff picture. That's what I want. Dun dun dun. Wow, that's the logo this year. That's like going back to the 70s. I like it. So another team clinched a playoff spot this week. That would be your and my Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
9 games in a row. And Detroit's won 11 games in a row.
Damn.
And the Chiefs, what did the Chiefs won? 11 also? No, 9 in a row. 11 in a row. When did they lose?
Well, the Chiefs lost a few weeks ago. Well, not a few weeks, but like 4 or 5 weeks ago against Buffalo. So
that's right. Okay, that's right.
They're like starting a new streak
in the year for some reason. That's right. They were like 9-0 when that happened. My memory's getting bad. So your 3 seeds are the Steelers and the Seahawks currently.
Wow.
seeds, Texans and the Bucks, all division winner, the leaders. And then you've got your wild card teams, Ravens and Vikings. That's 5th seed. Wow, they both wear purple and gold.
Yeah.
That's eerie. Ooh, that's cosmic. Your 6 seeds are the Chargers and the Packers. Both wear yellow. Whoa.
Wow.
And your Broncos and Commanders have the final spot in the hunt on the bubble, whatever they call it. Colts and Rams have the 8th seed currently. Dolphins and Falcons 9th. Bengals and Cardinals 10th. I would say it's a safe bet to say the 49ers and the Saints and the Cowboys and the Bears and the Panthers are all gone. I mean, come on.
I know they're not mathematically, but yeah.
They have 8 losses. Then again, the Bengals have 8 losses. But
I know, but
it's just look at all these teams they got a hurdle in the NFC to get in, where the AFC is down to three teams on the bubble.
That's really what
the only team eliminated right now in the NFC are the Giants.
I can't believe there's that many already mathematically eliminated in the AFC. Wow.
Look at that. Raiders, Patriots, Titans, Jags, and Browns out. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. It goes on and on and on and on. So next week we were supposed to do our power rankings this week, but without Bruce. We'll wait for a week to do our 3rd quarter power rankings. So there's an extra week for a team to prove themselves to us.
There might be some movement
or
there.
Disprove themselves to us.
Movement out of there. You're not top 10. Get out.
And then I was thinking about adding a little feature because I got this great video that I plucked from the worst plays of the week. So I think I'm going to add a feature called Stepping on a Rake, and I'll put like the 5 goofiest plays of the week. Terrible plays, stepping on a rake, because it's fun to laugh at the bad.
Well, you'll have plenty to choose from. Don't worry, you'll get your 5 the way things are going.
There's a lot.
I had it this week.
I was shocked when I downloaded that video how many bad plays there were. But I just, I only picked a couple this week, like the Mac Jones and the Dallas block punt.
Yeah,
in the Vikings thing with the flea flicker.
That
and also the Justin Jefferson touchdown
for a loss.
Cornerback was spinning like a top,
2 in 1 game.
Away. That was crazy, man.
It looked like he was there forever, going right here. I
love the soundbite where he's on the bench, like, I've never been that open in my life. He had to wait for the ball to come down. It was crazy.
Exactly.
There's nobody else in the
wasn't even in stride.
It was crazy. So I guess that's it for this week. Any final thoughts?
Well, playoffs start next week. Technically speaking, for some teams.
Yeah, and we've got that gauntlet coming up for 4 teams where they got 3 games in 11 days.
Oh,
that would be the Chiefs, the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Texans.
What is that, on Christmas, you're saying?
Yeah, well, they have this Sunday.
Oh, right.
And then
Wednesday.
Then they play next Saturday.
Because then they have a Wednesday game.
The college season ends today with the Army-Navy game.
Oh, my gosh.
So
that's going to be crazy. Holy cow.
And then on Wednesday, Christmas Wednesday, they play. So they have Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday.
Yeah, they really had to do a lot of finagling to get those 4 same teams to play on a Saturday so they could have the extra day to play on the Wednesday.
And to pick four teams from the AFC, and they're not mixing leagues either.
Right.
They're all from the AFC, and they're all playoff teams.
Yeah, they're all playoff teams right now.
So you're really, that's like, you're risking serious injuries.
Yes, you are.
Players. This league that like worries about injuries, and they're completely full of what.
Yeah, not when it comes to just trying to promote as much as possible for the.
It comes down to cash grab after cash grab after cash grab. And when they were talking about there was a potential for Christmas Day games, and then Netflix went and dumped all that money, the gridiron gauntlet is right now.
That's exactly
absolutely right. They're full of shit. They can put all the Guardian helmets on people they want. They're full of shit. They don't care.
Yeah, that does seem crazy.
And they're going to go to an 18-game schedule and further damage these guys.
Wow.
All for money. They don't care. Hey, look, we love football. More football is great for us, but it's not great for those guys.
No, I know.
It's not. Oh, and one final thought before we sign off. When we talked a couple weeks ago that the Redskins logo is uncanceled.
Yep.
They're already going to use it.
What?
They're going to use it starting this month. They're going to start selling throwback jerseys.
It's good for them. Hey, I mean, it's more cash for them because there's a lot of people that want that.
And then I guess next year, rumor has it, they're going to do 2 throwback games where they're going to wear Redskins uniforms.
Wow.
I'm guessing at Dallas and at home versus Dallas because everybody wants the Dallas Redskins back.
Oh, okay. Maybe that'll be one of them will be a Thanksgiving game. Yeah.
Yep. Those will be the throwback Cowboys and Indians. And then my prediction is they're going to make so much money off of the merchandise and the ratings, and everybody will be so excited to see them in those uniforms again that in 2026 they will revert back to that brand. That's what I think is going to happen.
Someone agrees with you.
Let's see it. And then after they do that, all the focus will shift to the Cleveland Indians to do the same damn thing. Bring back Chief Wahoo. Bring back Chief Wahoo.
I hope so.
Oh, and real quick, since we're talking about baseball, real quick, the Pittsburgh Pirates are pathetic. They went to the winter meetings and did like nothing except give away like 3 talented arms for a guy nobody's ever heard of for first base. And how about that Juan Soto contract with the Mets?
Oh my gosh!
Did they just Bobby Bonilla themselves again?
I couldn't believe it. Wow.
He turned down the Yankees for $5 million difference.
Yep.
He could have stayed on the Yankees for $5 million.
I think there's something else in that contract. Like when they say 765, it's actually over 800. I think there's some other conditions on there that could turn it into over. Yeah. I wish I had thought of it. Are
they performance incentives or?
I can't think of it, but I was reading it somewhere real quick, and I didn't think of. Maybe I'll try to look it up before next week.
Well, I was going to throw to you and Bruce if you wanted to do a hot stove baseball show, and just go over what happened at the winter meetings this week.
Oh yeah, I haven't been paying.
Yeah, they are Maverick. We got to reverse what happened in 2020. Juan Soto's except Juan Soto's. Juan Soto's a great player. Bobby Bonilla was a better than average. He wasn't a superstar by any stretch. Bobby Bonilla benefited by being in a lineup with Barry Bonds and Andy Van Slyke around him. He was a good, solid player, but he wasn't worth. They're still paying for him, right? It's crazy. He has like a 25, 30-year contract or something like that.
Jeez.
But it's going to cash strap them. And my guess is Juan Soto wanted to go to the Mets to play with Lindor. That's my guess. Because when you pick them over for $5 million, $5 million is nothing when you're talking those numbers.
Yeah, but if you're in, it's New York either way. But if you push the Mets over the top, that's a much bigger deal than pushing the Yankees over the top, because the Yankees have such a what do they have, like 25 World Series. It's not that big of a thing anymore. He's never going to be an all-time great Yankee. There's so many all-time great Yankees, and it's, I don't know, maybe
yes and no. They haven't won a championship since 2009.
It's true.
And before that, that was kind of, they bought that one.
Yeah, no, I know. I think it just
I hear what you're saying, that it's more glamorous to take a team from the dumpster fire like the Mets, who haven't won since '86, and get them a championship. I totally get that, but it's got to be like a relationship thing to choose to go there for $5 million instead of staying there to a team that just went to the World Series. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the Yankees are kind of screwed now. I don't know what they're going to do, because they're also going to lose Rizzo at first base. They've got a lot of contract issues, and I don't think the Yankees are going to take a giant tumble backward.
All right.
I think. That's a tough division. Baltimore's good.
Oh, I know.
Watch out, because Tampa Bay always finds a way to get in there.
Toronto is good.
And Boston's starting to rebuild, and Boston finished 500. So, that's a tough division. That's a really tough division. It's the best division in baseball. like the only really competitive one, top to bottom. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to do. And Bruce, if you're watching the replay or listening right now, if you want to do a baseball show and go over what happened, that'd be kind of cool.
Yep.
I love baseball. We're only a month and a half from spring training. No, about 2 months. 2 months to the day.
Yeah. Pitchers and catchers.
Pitchers and catchers. My favorite thing right after the Super Bowl, and you fall into that, and you get the NCAA tournaments lurking. But when you turn on a sports show and you hear that leather popping and the bats cracking, and they're doing interviews with players down in Florida, and you're like, all right, spring is a coming. Yeah. Boys, summer are back. So, all right, that's it for me. Good luck. I hope you go 1-4, but you won't. Because if you do, I will too. Because we have.
All right. Good luck, Bruce.
Yeah. Good luck, Bruce. And Uncle Gene, one more time. Get well.
Yep.
See you next week, everyone.
Yes, I think no. Yes, the joyfulness is over. The joyfulness is over.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.